perception has completely changed, but I can still access that. I don't know how to describe it, but it's like if you were to imagine that your organic intelligence system was running parallel with a synthetic intelligence system, and that they inform each other. So the organic, which is the sort of living, moving aspect of yourself, or the present moment aspect, as you're moving through your thing, whatever you're doing, you need some reference system for accessing the part which is inorganic, which is past or future, which exists more as a potentiality than a reality as we consider the present to be. But we need a way of accessing that database in a way that's protected, encrypted. But before all the shit went down, whatever it actually was, I don't even know how you can describe it. But the shift before that, it's like our awareness was strictly kept in the outside edges of. It was strictly kept in projection mode. That's how it was before, for me anyway. And then afterwards, now I'm in the center, and future and past are to me, the future and past would be the data set, the Akashic records perhaps, but they're directly accessible in this present moment, in your present moment, in my present moment. Accessible, but not in the manner of objectively being able to, say, go to a file folder and look up something alphabetically or alphanumerically, pick out a date and a time and say, okay, like this exact thing happened on this exact date, and my space-time location at that date was such. It's not like that. There's somehow a different way has been designed to give us a sort of seamless integration of the database, giving you what you need in your moment without you having to go perform searches or internal Google searches. But it's navigated using feeling. Instead of using the mind, because the mind was what got. The mind is part of the corrupted, the fallen, the ego, the seeing itself as separate. That's what we would consider mind or monkey mind. And the way that one accesses the database is always goal-oriented. So it can't just be floating and, doing the thing, floating through life, flowing through life, and sort of like touching and getting essence bits of data that are relative to your current space-time location and your present feelings, the temperature, the weather, the past, future. The whole thing is being accessed in a way that's much more seamless if you're allowing the feeling state to dictate how you sort of send feelers out into the database. And if you're using the old method of mind, which is you only access that database when a need, an objective, objective, when you have an objective need to access the database. And I'm not talking about just the database of your own personal memories. I'm talking about the database, the whole database, whatever, however big it is. We have access to the whole thing. It's not, you don't just have access to whatever your, limited ego self persona has accumulated over 30 years or whatever. You have more than that. And it's accessed through feelings mainly, and very much in a lesser fashion through mind and objective, fact-based inquiries. Because the fact-based inquiries are always tending toward set narratives. And set narratives are just inaccurate. Narratives are fine. It's fine to have storylines, and we like them, and they're good. And there is a sort of somewhat objective thing that has happened for us, if you consider your own past. But it's not something that anybody can prove or disprove or anything. It's just, as soon as the thing happens, then it becomes a memory, and you're a subjective person, and everyone else is subjective, so you don't know. You're like, yeah, I was such and so thing in time, and I felt this way, and I think that happened, and you're giving a subjective remembering of a subjective experience, and then everyone else is comparing their subjective versus your subjective, and people are talking about facts, and it's the most hilarious thing ever. Where is the proof? Where is the proof? So when you give your internal feeling state the sort of controls of the body-mind vessel, you get, it's like you're surfing the data stream, and you're not having to dive deep underneath the surface and get all heavy and loaded, bogged down with information, because you can touch the data info in a light way, where you're getting the packet delivered, so to speak, but only through the smallest hint of a feeling. You can get something delivered internally. You have like the tiniest little nudging of a feeling, but then you have it all already accessible to you. And it can also drop off as soon as you get it. And maybe the impression didn't need to be lasting. So it comes in, you get it, disappears. This was one of the ways of safeguarding information, because everything had been co-opted and tracked, and recording everything is just a whole clusterfuck of people recording each other and trying to get one up on each other.